folks, Sunny in the South, salmon on the menu this evening. And the way we're going to prepare this salmon is just a simple blackening technique. I've got some Chef Paul Prudhomme blackening redfish magic back there that I'm going to use. I use that for a lot of stuff. It's a real good seasoning blend. Any good blackening spice will work just fine for how we're going to do these salmon fillets. The star of the show is the sauce we're going to put together. This is kind of like a Cajun creamy sauce, and it is extremely good. It goes really well on vegetables, but I found that it is absolutely delicious on a good piece of seasoned salmon. There's not a whole lot of ingredients here. It's a fairly simple way to do salmon with a sauce. And this is not a pan sauce. It's going to be a separate sauce, and I'm actually going to make the sauce before I blacken the salmon, and we're going to finish the salmon off in the oven. And one ingredient for this sauce you're going to need that most people don't have laying around is some of this better than bouillon lobster base. All the stores sell that. That's going to have to go in that sauce. That's where we're going to get the salt and the flavor from. A few other things you're going to need is some thyme, a little bit of finely diced onion and bell pepper. I've got a little bit of lemon here I'm going to use just to add a little acidity to the sauce at the end, some butter, some all-purpose flour, some no-salt Cajun seasoning. I've got a little bit of minced garlic and some parsley to just finish the salmon off with, garnish with. So we're going to get this sauce put together. We're going to get a couple tablespoons of butter in this pot. I'm going to add a couple of tablespoons finely diced onion and a couple of tablespoons of finely diced bell pepper. Now you can leave these vegetables out if you want to. I just like a little texture in this sauce, but it's outstanding without the vegetables. If you don't want to use the vegetables, just skip that process, melt the butter. We're going to add a little flour here just as soon as these soften up a little bit, so that's where you would start at if you did not want to use the vegetables. Alright, those have been sauteing there for about a minute. I'm going to go in with a couple of teaspoons of minced garlic. That's about a teaspoon and a half, 2 teaspoons. Let's let that cook there in that butter just for a minute till it blooms out a little bit. Alright, garlic smelling right. We're going to go in with about a tablespoon and a half all-purpose flour. Let this cook in the butter for just a minute. Get the raw out of the flour. And looking over here at the counter with my ingredients, I realized I didn't set the chicken broth and the cream out. Those are 2 other ingredients you're going to need for this sauce. And that flour's been cooking there for a minute or 2, so the raw's out of it. I'm going to go in with a half a cup unsalted chicken broth. Kind of mix that up with that roux there a little bit. I'm going to get about a 1/4 cup heavy whipping cream in there. We're going to add 1 teaspoon of this lobster base. And that lobster base is pretty salty. This is going to give it a nice seafood flavor. And it's going to add the salt that we need for this sauce. I'm going to add a couple of splashes of hot sauce. This is optional. Put about a teaspoon, 2 teaspoons of that in there. We're going to get some no salt Cajun Creole seasoning in here. About a teaspoon. And we'll see what this looks like on thickness. If it thickens up too much, I'm just going to add a little more chicken broth. I'm going to toss about a tablespoon of Parmesan cheese in there. That's optional as well. So the base of this sauce is basically a butter roux with some chicken broth, some heavy cream, some of that better than bouillon lobster base as the seasoning and flavor, along with some Cajun Creole seasoning. And of course there's a little bit of garlic in there as well. That's the base sauce. I've just jumped this up a little bit with some Parmesan cheese, some Louisiana hot sauce. And I'm going to add just a little bit of lemon juice. I'm going to give this a taste. Ooh, that's good. Get a little black pepper in there. I'm going to slide this back to a smaller burner and just keep it warm. We're going to get this salmon put together, blackened, and get us some dinner going. Alright, let's get our salmon prepared. Now this is skin-on fillets. You can use skinless, but I want skin on this. We're going to get it nice and crispy. But I'm only going to season the flesh side of these fillets. And this blackening seasoning contains salt, so I'm not going to need to salt it. If you're using a no salt blackening spice or a homemade spice, make sure you salt your fillets. Get a skillet heated up, get these blackened. I'll get a little vegetable oil in here. Lay these fillets down, skin side down. We'll let the skin get nice and crispy, and then we'll flip these over and blacken that flesh side. And we're over medium heat. Alright, this been going there for a minute on the skin side. Let's get them flipped over. Give them about a minute or two on the flesh side. Get some blackening on that seasoning we put on there. Got the oven preheating to 350. We'll flip these back over. Put a knob or two of butter in, some thyme. Do a little basting, and we'll finish them off in the oven. Alright, those been going there about a minute, minute and a half. Let's get them flipped over, take a look at them. Woo, it look good. Yes, sir. Let's get some butter in here. A little thyme. Ooh, that's gonna be good. Get a quick temp check here. See where we're at. I'm going to pull these about 138, 140, and 108. So probably about 5 minutes in the oven, they'll be ready. Alright, salmon's out of the oven. Let's get this plated up. Let's get this salmon plated up. Now this is enough sauce for about 4, maybe 6 fillets. I only did 2. But that sauce will cover quite a bit more. Put a little asparagus there on the side. Go real good with that salmon. You can serve this on a bed of rice. Some sauteed spinach be good too. Ooh, that's gonna be good. Dress it up a little bit. That's it, folks. A little blackened salmon fillet with a creamy Cajun sauce. And that sauce goes real good with a lot of different vegetables. All the ingredients down in the description. Till next time, peace.